The Life and Reign of Queen Elizabeth II, 1926 to 2022. Queen Elizabeth II was the longest-reigning monarch in British history. Serving for over 70 years, her life was a continuous thread running through the history of the modern world, navigating her country through massive geopolitical shifts, social changes, and personal family trials. 1. Early life and the abdication crisis. Born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary on April 21, 1926, in London, she was the eldest daughter of Prince Albert, Duke of York, later King George VI, and Elizabeth, Duchess of York. As a child, nicknamed Lilibet, she was not expected to inherit the throne. Her father was the younger brother, and her uncle, Edward, was the direct heir. However, everything changed in 1936. King Edward VIII abdicated, gave up, the throne to Mary Wallace Simpson, an American divorcee. Elizabeth's father became King George VI, and at just 10 years old, Elizabeth unexpectedly became the heir presumptive to the British throne. 2. World War II and royal duty. During World War II, Princess Elizabeth and her younger sister, Princess Margaret, remained in the UK despite suggestions to evacuate them to Canada. The 1940 broadcast. At age 14, Elizabeth made her first public radio broadcast, sending words of comfort and hope to children who had been evacuated from their homes due to bombings. Military service. In 1945, determined to play her part, she joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, ATS, the women's branch of the British Army. She trained as a driver and mechanic, making her the first female member of the royal family to serve as a full-time active member of the armed forces. 3. Marriage and family. In 1947, she married Philip Mountbatten, a former Prince of Greece and Denmark, who was created Duke of Edinburgh. Their marriage lasted 73 years until his death in 2021. Together, they had 4 children. Prince Charles, now King Charles III. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal. Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Prince Edward, Duke of Edinburgh. 4. The Ascension and Coronation. In early 1952, Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip set out for a tour of Australia and New Zealand, with a stopover in Kenya. It was there, at the Treetops Hotel in Kenya on February 6, 1952, that she received news that her father, King George VI, had passed away from illnesses following a lung operation. At the age of 25, she went up into the trees a princess and came down a queen. Her official coronation took place on June 2, 1953, at Westminster Abbey. It was the first coronation in history to be broadcast live on international television, ushering the British monarchy into the modern media age. 5. Major eras of her 70-year reign. The Queen's historic reign is best viewed through the decades of global transformation she witnessed. The 1950s-1960s, decolonization. 1950s to 1960s. She oversaw the transition of the British Empire into the modern Commonwealth of Nations. Dozens of former colonies gained independence, yet she maintained strong diplomatic ties with them as head of the Commonwealth. The 1977 Silver Jubilee. 1977. Marking 25 years on the throne, this milestone reasserted public support for the monarchy despite the severe economic hardships and political strikes plaguing the UK in the late 1970s. 1992, the Annus Horribilis. 1992. The Queen herself termed 1992 her Annus Horribilis, horrible year. It saw the separation of Prince Charles from Princess Diana, the divorce of Princess Anne, the separation of Prince Andrew, and a massive, devastating fire at her residence, Windsor Castle. 1997. The death of Princess Diana. 1997. Following the tragic car crash of Princess Diana in Paris, the royal family initially faced severe public criticism for staying secluded in Scotland. Recognizing the public's immense grief, the Queen returned to London, delivered a live televised address, and ordered the Union Jack flag to fly at half-mast over Buckingham Palace. 2012, the Golden Jubilee and Olympics. 2012. Celebrating 60 years on the throne, she famously participated in a comedy sketch alongside actor Daniel Craig, playing James Bond, for the opening ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games. 2022, the Platinum Jubilee and final days. 2022. She became the first British monarch to celebrate a Platinum Jubilee, 70 years. Though increasingly frail, she appeared on the balcony of Buckingham Palace to thank her subjects. 6. Death and legacy. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II died peacefully at Balmoral Castle in Scotland at the age of 96. Her death marked the end of the Second Elizabethan era. Following a 10-day period of national mourning, hundreds of thousands of people queued for miles to pay their respects before her state funeral on September 19, 2022. She was buried alongside her husband, Prince Philip, at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. Throughout her life, she worked with 15 different British prime ministers, from Winston Churchill to Liz Truss, and met 14 U.S. presidents. Her ultimate legacy remains her unwavering devotion to a life of public duty, serving as a symbol of stability and continuity through a rapidly changing world.